afternoon. For this assignment this week, I decided to interview a local PC builder and discuss the first year of business because I know sometimes the first year of business can be rough. And he agreed. He said had its ups and downs, but after the ball got rolling, after the first year, it kind of got better. During the first few months, he was building his website, he was building his brand, he was building his identity, mostly for himself, and he spent some times researching suppliers, comparing wholesale pricing, and creating a basic brand identity, all by himself. So he saved a lot of money doing that. He only invested $6,500, which was his savings, so no debt, which is always a plus starting a business. Some of the big wins were setting up the social media, he said, joining local online groups and kind of just, advertising his business to the community. During the next few months, like the 3 to 4 months, he started getting customers. He had about 12 builds during those 3 months, between month 3 and month 4. He said the way he got people into his business, he offered discounts to friends and family in exchange for testimonials on how he was doing. He was trying to figure out pricing and what works best for his business since he is a new business owner. He continued posting on social media and advertising his business. He also said that he tried to work with or get involved with the high school. He looked into doing maybe a club or something to support his business and help, the local community. And a big plus from that was a local teacher left a glowing review in the town on Facebook about his business. And, after that, inquiries started coming in. Halfway through the year of business, he started creating a spreadsheet to track profits and profit margins on each build. He had a dedicated business email and phone number set up going. He also had standard build templates like the entry level, the middle tier, and the high performance tier to help speed up quoting and to offer a package for every type of customer. Some improvements he made to the business were changing the logo a little bit on Canva. He was working to continue to improve his website and product information and maybe posting pictures and stuff on the website and then frequently asked questions page. He continued with the customers and sharing his business on Facebook. He was trying to he said it was tough because he still had a full-time job and this was kind of his part-time thing, so he was trying to continue to balance both of them without going insane because that takes a lot of time. As the year went along, between months 7 and 8, there were some growing pains. He kind of dropped down in the builds. He only had about 8 in those couple of months, plus a few repairs, and then also with organization in his business was a little unorganized and became crowded with tools and components for the computers because he didn't have a big business yet. He became short on some of his power supply stuff, and then other computer parts he saw delays with them being delivered, and then also with being in a shortage that kind of created a backlog for some of his projects with his customers. Some of the products he also noticed were coming defective, graphics cards, and then he would have to pay to fix those out of pocket, so that kind of hurt the profit margins. What he learned, he told me during that, is to keep an emergency fund to help close those gaps as needed with the repairs needed for unforeseen circumstances, and then also having clear communication about timelines with customers and parts availability, because one computer he was trying to build, he didn't build it in time and the customer was not very happy about it, but it was due to backlogs in the products. And then also he learned that you need to document everything, receipts, part serial numbers, and vendor communication, just to have that if you ever need it in the future. But he did see some repeat customers buying things for people in their family, helping, parts, or having maybe a computer built for their children. And he saw a rise between months 9 and 10, first real taste of growth. Monthly revenue crossed $5,000 for the first time. A local group of esports asked for bulk PCs, so 4 machines, which was nice. That's the biggest order so far for him. That happened in month 9. He also was able to hire a part-time helper, a local student from the high school, to help ease his pain and suffering and trying to do this by himself and to assist on the weekends. Cash flow started going up a little more, so that was nice. And this was a turning point because he started taking larger orders without draining personal funds. In months 11 and 12, he was thinking about what was successful so far through the year and what was not successful and what he could build on. And some of the growths he said he saw were a strong online presence from his constant social media postings and positive feedback from customers, a growing local reputation. He added the part-time helper, and then he was able to standardize some build packages, and then also consistent monthly revenue towards the latter end of those 12 months. What his business he did find out lacked was adequate space, enough inventory to take on those larger jobs when he had multiple projects to build, professional equipment, so testing benches, thermal cameras, and diagnostic tools he said he could have used. His marketing budget, if as he continues to have a profit, maybe putting a little money aside for marketing. And then of course being a full-time employee and trying to do this part-time, time was a big issue with him but as I mentioned, he was able to hire an employee towards the latter end of that first year, which really helped. What he did realize was that he needed more capital and he needed more space. And if he could do it all over again, he would probably do it the same way again, maybe just trying to focus more time on the project because or the business, because he didn't realize how much time it would take, and he thought of it more as a project and not a business. But despite all the time he had to endure doing it by himself and taking time away from family and friends, he has had a positive feedback on his business, and he said he would do it all over again if he could, just the same way, maybe just with the finer tweaks here and there. But overall, he loved his business, and he's going to continue to try to scale it up a little bit and hopefully maybe hire some more people and make it his full-time job. But it was a great interview, and I look forward to talking to him more about his business.